everybody.
No, I was just going to say, I honestly think we should have somebody from, like, marching band do the clap from now on when we do the clap. Like, were either of you in marching band?
Yes.
Were you?
I was.
You were? Okay,
yes.
So you're on clap duty from here on out.
I literally am the person who does it every time.
I feel like you're slightly off sync, but as somebody who was never able to march in cadence, I don't think I'm able to make that judgment.
We've talked about this before. Literally, the first conversation we had on the podcast was that.
No, it was the
we're gonna sound out of sync.
So, welcome everybody.
Welcome to the We Hate Anime podcast, everybody. The only anime podcast that is a complete shit show. I'm your host, English Mike. You can follow me at AndyMikeRu on Twitter. Joining me as always is the Frog King.
That's me. You can follow me on Twitter if you want to. You don't have to, though. It's fine. I don't really care that much.
And his link will be in the description since he doesn't want to say it.
It's kind of hard to spell.
It's just Frog King, but the I is a 1 and the fucking O.
See, everyone's already lost.
0.
It's baby's first leet speak spelling.
I know,
Frog
but
King.
even then,
You're
it's
fine.
hard to spell out with. You don't say leet speak very easily in speech. That's kind of the point.
It's Frug Kyunge.
That's not how it is at all.
That voice you just heard is Mothman.
Hey!
You can follow him on Twitter.
I'm back, baby! And yes, only follow me on Twitter if you care about painting models or screaming into the void. That's all I offer.
That's most of Twitter,
So,
to be fair. Not the models part.
I want to start our episode by shaming both of you. Shaming both of you. Fuck you guys. Super hard. I had to record an episode by myself. And, like, all the feedback I got from that episode was from people who were being too nice, going, yeah, it was weird, but, like, it was fine. And, like, both of you guys be like, yeah, I'll record my own thing, and I'll give it to you, and you can upload it. And then nothing from either of you. Fuck both of you. You fucking, I even named the episode with the implication that there'd be more. Fuck both of you guys.
It's an ARG,
Here's
don't worry about
all
it.
I'm going to say, okay? This is all I was going to say about Daft Punk. I can summarize it in 2 minutes, okay?
Oh, right, I was going to talk about Daft Punk. Wait, we talk about Daft Punk real quick, actually?
Daft Punk...
Yeah.
Fuck you!
No,
joking,
okay,
I'm
Daft
joking.
Punk existed for 28 years, almost 30 years, almost as long as I've been alive. They released 5 official albums, 2 movies, one of which you should never watch, because if you think Blade Runner 2049 is a bunch of standing around and walking, their second movie they made for a Film Sundance Studio Film Festival is the laziest stuff on the planet. They have done 2 films, 5 albums, one of which is a soundtrack for a Disney movie, so you know they're going to cash that check. And honestly, only one of their albums is good, and that's Discovery. And I'm going to say that, and I'm going to say that in 30 years, they have produced only one thing of value and do not deserve the notoriety and positive love they have.
I don't think you believe this.
No, I absolutely do, because I was thinking about it the other day. After they broke up, I sat down and for 5 days listened to all 5 of their albums. And, I mean, don't get me wrong. Discovery is a 10 out of 10 album. Discovery is in the same league as Kanye West's My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, Dio's Holy Diver, and Insane Clown Posse's Great Milenko. Like, perfect 10 out of 10 albums for the genre they're in. But that's it. Discovery is the only thing worth mentioning in their entire discography. And like Interstellar 55555, great. Yeah, wonderful. Whatever. But that's owed more to the art style, borrowing heavily from the guy who directed Harlock's Saga than anything else. Oh, and they had really cool helmets.
I don't like this.
Bad. Welcome back, everybody. This is what it's... I know everyone listening to this just, like, drifted into a fugue state as their consciousness, like, gripped them to make sure they could hold on to reality. But what you heard was, in fact, true. Moth coming back strong with Moth takes. Like, it's not even Moth taking anymore. Moth giving.
Name a single song from Homework that isn't Around the World.
You're asking me to remember the name of something, so right off the bat, you're already fucked up.
Okay, Frog, name a song from Random Access Memories that isn't Get Lucky.
Touch.
What?
Touch.
Okay, alright, sure. Alright, now do the same with Homework.
Homework? Was that Robot Rock in there?
Yeah, actually, I do think either Robot Rock is in Homework or Robot Rock is in Human After All.
No, I think it is in Human After All. What's on Homework? Homework was my least listened to one, to be fair.
Yeah, because the only good song on it is Around the World.
No. Oh, Daft Punk. Daft Punk. Yeah, the original Daft Punk. Is Musique on there too, I think?
I actually don't remember because I listened to all 5 albums once 3 weeks ago.
I can't prove to you I haven't Googled it, but I promise you I haven't Googled it.
No, that's fair. It's just, at the end of the day, the only album truly worth remembering from Daft Punk is Discovery, and the other albums have decent tracks on them. I mean, Kanye was able to remix... Oh, wait, no, he remixed Discovery. So, really, Discovery is the only good album.
I think Random Access Memories is fantastic, and I think Homework is fantastic. I just haven't listened to it enough, to be honest.
Honestly,
also a little
the only song I like on
sure.
Random Access Memories is Contact, which is the last song on the album.
Contact's great, but like, is that Digital Love is on the one on Discovery? What's the one on? It sounds a similar name. It's like, hold on, let me look it up now.
Oh, it's the one where the entire song is done without synthesizers and it's all like actual standard hardwood instruments.
I don't think so. I think Give Life Back to Music, Instant Crush. That's the one. Instant Crush is really good.
Oh yeah, I love that song.
Lose Yourself to Dance is really good. Touch is great.
I love that song too.
Get Lucky's great.
You know what was funny though is my
Doing
wife
It Right is fantastic.
My wife, who has no say in Daft Punk whatsoever because she didn't listen to it growing up, I sat down and I listened to Discovery because you guys, would you agree with me when you would say Discovery is their apex album?
100%. Yeah, no question there. Discovery is like one of the best albums ever made.
And my wife looked at me. She's like, "Oh yeah, so this is chill hop lo-fi beats for a depressed 9-year-old moth."
What?
I have a feeling every single bad opinion you have is like traced back to your wife.
That's not true because like I love Baki and she hates Baki. Like I can think for myself sometimes.
I don't think Baki's a bad series. It's just weird.
Sometimes.
I can think for myself a lot better than the main character from Katanagatari can. That's for sure.
I think that's probably going to be a development over time, but maybe I'm assuming too much.
You entirely are.
I don't think so. I mean, that's kind of how series go. It's kind of usually it's what it's already kind of alluding to. But yeah,
okay. But
we should talk about Katanagatari pretty soon, guys. This is the show we're watch this week. We already discussed that.
We'll fucking get.
Yeah, no,
look, I have not been here for a month,
horses.
And I need to give everybody PTSD flashbacks. Frog.
Neither of you have been here for a month. Fuck you guys.
Okay, in my defense, so I know like. Being dedicated to a podcast is a big deal, and I did talk to Mike about this, I think on Sunday, like, I actually feel horrible when I can't make an episode, and I feel even worse when my work is preventing me from making an episode, because, like, I have not, in the entire time we've recorded episodes, not once have I just gone, man, I am too lazy today to record with Mike and Frog. Like, if I don't make it for an episode, it's because I worked 70 hours that week, and I'm currently swearing at an MRI. Like I need our audience of 12 people to understand that. Like if I'm not here, it's because I'm crying somewhere, probably in Barrow, Alaska, just dying.
Hey! You say 12 people, but our episodes they get like 60 watches an episode. That's pretty fucking good if you include Twitter and audio download.
Oh,
not Twitter. Fuck, I don't upload the that'd be wild if I could upload the podcast to Twitter.
I was gonna say I thought we were doing pretty well these days. Like. I feel good about us these days, but
yeah, it's been weird. I've been absent for most of it.
I'm glad I'm back. I'm sorry. Believe it or not, I actually do love doing this. And if I'm not here, I mean, honestly, I just got off of 3 weekend shifts in a row on top of my 5-hour weeks or 5-day weeks. So like I had to take a day off to commit tax fraud, and that's the only reason we can record this episode together.
And I just since you did mention the stuff that happened on Sunday, at the same time this man has been like beating himself up about not being able to make an episode.
Beating the hell out of Mike.
He'll shame me. I am mentally ill. I have something. I'd sundown. It's like as soon as the sun starts going down, my brain starts to function less and less. If you've ever there are examples. If you listen to the next episode, by the time you're listening to this, it'll be out. If you listen to the next the most recent episode of Fist of Film Reel, that entire episode, I say almost nothing. It is not a good episode. And it's not a good episode because we recorded it late at night, and I got fucked up about it. My brain starts shutting off. It goes into automatic mode, and I go to Moth, and I've told him so many times that I sundown, so recording late at night doesn't work for me. And Moth is like, fucking bitch, fucking piece of shit, get fucking in the recording booth, babe boy. And
I tell him the same thing every time. I'm like, Mike, just get rid of your yee ass haircut. You'll get rid of your sundowning.
If only a haircut could make my brain better. Unfortunately,
your hair is too heavy, Mike.
Your hair is weighing down your sleep.
Well, what a lot of people
my hair is weighed down by gravity.
What a lot of people don't realize is your brain is basically an electrically controlled supercomputer that's liquid cooled. And what happens is a lot of your anodes and cathodes in your brain, they are connected to your skull, which is connected to the skin at the top of your head. And when you have really long hair and your hair pulls down on your scalp, it actually negatively impacts your brain. That's why women are so emotional. Because they have long hair.
Here we go.
Yeah, but it makes me cute, though, so...
Also, can I gatekeep mental illnesses for a second?
After Frog explains to the audience why he's being a little bitch.
I first of all, I've literally just had no time. My job that I just got out of recently has been bad, so I got rid of it. The schedule was basically like, you don't get to have fun, and all your weekends are gone.
Welcome to being an adult, baby.
Weren't you working... No. It was especially bad, because weren't you working split shifts?
I was working split shifts, and there was always on the weekends, at least. I always had weekends shifts, and usually I was off Wednesday, Thursday, which is not good. I was also a customer service job for a fucking telecom company, so you know, imagine how that was.
I will tell you right now, nothing is as traumatic as working ISP for a trailer park.
Probably.
Like, when you have to tell when someone's like, my internet got cut off and I paid the bill this month, what's going on? And you, like, look and there's, like, an FBI stop letter on your desk. You're just like, sir, I don't know. I don't want to know.
Yeah, no, I don't like it. So I moved to a different telecom company. But this one has, at least the hours are consistent, and I get every third weekend off, so it's like something.
So I get so frequently something I have to deal with if the members of our audience haven't figured this out yet. I actually grew up in I wouldn't say very racist, but like a very I don't know how to say this without disparaging people, but like I grew up
traditional values are racist values. I'll say it.
Not necessarily. Like this is funny. I was actually looking at it the other day. If people actually lived, like, let's not take Catholicism, let's take non-denominational evangelicalism and as a whole, just like let's remove a specific religious group from the conversation and just say like any Christian doctrine. If you actually followed it the way you're supposed to any extent, Christians would be the most jacked, buff human beings on the planet. Because, like, you're not supposed to abuse your body with candy. You're not supposed to abuse your body with alcohol. You're supposed to have, like, absolute self-control. Like, if Christians actually did their teachings, every single one of them would look like Arnold Schwarzenegger, and there'd be no problems. But
that's what's stopping us from achieving world peace. Strict religious adherence.
Not strict religious adherence. Self-control. But
I mean,
and that's
if
like
self-control
that's
isn't like
that's a core pillar.
Yourself from having like $1 trillion. Yeah.
It's a core principle in Christianity is self-control, and we all fail miserably at it. It is hilarious to watch. But back to gatekeeping mental illnesses. I grew up in a family where I was not very sensitive towards other people. That's probably the best way to do it. And I have to frequently, a lot of people are like, oh man, you just wake up one day and you stop being a bad person. No, I have to actively, I don't want to say unlearn, but I have to actively, like, not be a racist piece of crap every day. Because I spent 25 years thinking there was nothing wrong with it. And, you know, you look at the track record, 25 years to 5 years, great. I love, you know, like, not being a bad person, but then I see something like, oh, shooting in Chicago, and, you know, the first thought that comes to my mind is like, oh, was it a black person? Damn it. And that's something I have to deal with every single day. So when people are like, oh man, you know, like, you just stop being a bad person. I'm like, I'm trying. It's hard every single day to unlearn 25 years of crap.
No, I understand that to an extent.
Yeah, so gatekeeping mental illnesses, this weird argument, and Frog, maybe you can help me with this. Please help me with this, Frog.
What am I helping with?
I had to look this up, the term neurodivergent. Anytime I start, like, arguing with someone, they're like, I can't help it. I was undiagnosed neurodivergent my whole life, and now I've realized it, and I need to heal. And I'm kind of sitting here, I'm like, what the hell is neurodivergent?
It's just another way of saying kind of that.
Yeah, it's like saying autism's not a blanketed enough term. It's just saying I'm different from other people.
Well, no. It's not just
It's
autism.
like general
it's
mental
anything that makes
differences.
anything that's not normal, like depression, anxiety, schizophrenia, autism.
It's a
It's
term for mental
blanket
illness
term
that
for
doesn't
all
sound as abrasive as mental illness.
Okay, that's fair. It's a less hurtful word of saying mental illness.
Yeah, it's less like abrasive is the best word I can find for it. I think
It's one of those things where it's so frustrating for me because it's letting go of prejudices. That's what it ultimately is. It's the same thing with people who are like, oh, I got up to my eyeballs in student debt. Why should we make college free now? It's like, well, do you want somebody else to get hit by a train just because you got hit by a train?
yes.
And so it's the same thing where people are like, I can't help it. I'm neurodivergent. Be sensitive to me. And I'm like, you know, when I was getting my ass beat in elementary school for drawing Hamtaro fan art, I didn't get this excuse.
I mean, someone who's neurodivergent doesn't draw Hamtaro fan art. You just like had to deal with this a bunch of bullshit. Like I'm glad that you're like trying to work past that mental block, though.
It's so frustrating because like I didn't get to use this excuse and I had to suffer. And so like now that I'm fit, now that I'm attractive, now that I'm happy and I'm comfortable and I'm seeing these people, I'm like, I want to choke you. Because I'm seeing my pathetic self from 15 years ago, but now you have an excuse.
I like the idea of that Moth is just like trying to control the rage, and that anytime the Hantaro theme song starts coming on, he just has flashbacks.
I just start windmilling at a Toys R Us.
Oh, god dang. Yeah.
So there we go. There's my mental block. I had another story today, but you guys talk about something else first.
Yeah, let's not talk about about that other story.
I want to tell the sauna story. I want to tell it so bad. Not the one you heard, Mike. It's less offensive than the one you heard.
So why don't we talk about anime? Not the anime.
Okay.
I want to talk about a show that we left off of the seasonal.
Which
Oh
one?
yeah, I still haven't watched this show yet, but I gotta get to it.
Which one?
There's it's called Wonder Egg Priority.
Yeah, I've been meaning to watch that, but I'm too lazy to pirate it.
I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be your thing, Moth. I think Frog's going to dig it, but like this show is my favorite show of the season, 100%. I'm 6 episodes in. It's gorgeous.
Yeah, it looks really good from like the clips I've seen on Twitter, like in terms of visually anyway, and I want to see like the rest of it. So,
and it's like it is like finger like quotes a deconstruction of Magical Girls, but it's not like the same kind that Madoka is. It's not edgy. It's just like more grounded, and the characters are really interesting. I don't want to. There's not much to say about it because like I haven't finished. I'm only 6 episodes in. They're up to episode 10 now, and by the time you're hearing this, there's only going to be there's only going to be one more episode left, and it's definitely going to go into some darker territories. Not edgy dark.
Contracto.
No, definitely nothing like that. But
more like
it's
the
more
lights are going to
interpersonal.
turn off.
Yeah, it's it's not so much like the whole like gimmick of the show is that each character has someone in their lives who killed themselves, and they
it's
have
like
to...
Harry Potter with the horses.
What?
What the fuck?
Yeah, the horses that only people can see. If they had a family member die.
You're talking about the whatever they're called. I actually know what he's talking about. Fucking insane that I actually know. That was the one Harry Potter book I actually read.
See, I like the 4th one a lot.
But basically, like, in order to like bring that person back to life, or they're told, it could be revealed that that's not the case, but they're trying to bring back that person from like back to being alive, and the way they go about doing that is that they like go into like the trauma of people who killed themselves and help them overcome their own trauma. And like the whole conceit of the show is that like these people who killed themselves, someone could, if someone cares enough about them, they could come back to life. It's really cool. The action's nuts, dude. Like, the action's fucking insane. Like, every episode, there's a moment that I'm like, woo! It's super fucking good. Man, I can't say enough good things about the show. I can't wait to finish it. It is good. But episode 6 ends on, like, a moment where the main character, like, overcomes a bit of their trauma, and it's like, you don't do that halfway through the show if you're not just gonna, like, throw them against the stones, man. That's not cool.
I'm interested in seeing it.
I'm not going to say
I'll
anything
watch it.
negative about it, because it doesn't look like something I could say anything negative about, and I've heard really good things, and I need to stop being judgmental of stuff just because it lacks sexy men in it.
It has two mannequins that are completely featureless that are men.
Wonderful, perfect.
They're weird, and there is one guy, but I think he might be really bad. I'm not sure yet.
Well, I guess if we're talking about animes, I got one that I hate. I truly hate it, and I can't stop watching it.
Titular.
Mushosho Tensei, Jobless Reincarnation.
I fucking love that show so much.
I didn't watch past episode 1, but episode 1 was pretty good.
Here's what I hate.
Tensei is so good.
I'm waiting for the main character to learn a lesson, but I feel like the main Gaka is using the fact that he grew up being kind of abused and a shut-in to prevent him from learning the lesson of not being a lecher. And it was ruined.
How far are you into it?
I'm caught up. I watched this Sunday's episode.
I haven't watched that yet, but like he's matured quite a bit.
No, he hasn't. He's still a perverted lecher, and it still is. There's literally a scene in the latest episode where he sees a chick with 3 boobs and ogles her the entire time.
Yeah,
who wouldn't do that?
It is accurate to say that he's a pervert.
Well,
true.
But
like, he's punished for his perversion.
No, he's not.
Are you kidding me?
No, I will say. Okay, here's the thing. He was trying to take off his cousin's panties, and his cousin woke up and punched him, and that was the end of it. That was literally the end of it. There's no, like, she doesn't trust him. It's not like she doesn't feel comfortable being around him now. No, she punches him and gets over it. That is not punishment. That is not accurate. Like, if I was taking off a chick's panties at 13 years old and she caught me doing it, I at the very least would never talk to that girl again because she would never want to be associated with me.
It was established, like, after like the whole event where they became closer, like after the kidnapping, that she had started to gain a crush on him.
Okay, but still, I mean, Mike. Okay, here's the situation. I asked one of my coworkers this the other day. Okay, I said, "Hey, I have a question for you." And she's like, "What's up?" And I'm like, "So you got a guy, like, he works at a hospital. He works at one of the hospitals you visit to fix their equipment." And she's like, "Okay, yeah." I'm like, "And let's say you're really attracted to this dude and you think he's a snack." And she's like, "Okay." I'm like, "You don't really talk to him too much, and he doesn't seem to get the hint that you like him. So eventually you're just like, hey, what are you doing this weekend?" And the dude looks at you dead ass in the eye and is like, "Shit, keep asking, I'm gonna shove a turkey in your vagina and make you my turn Duncan." What would you do?
Okay, there's like a breakdown in your analogy. Okay?
And her exact response was like, "I would never want to talk to the dude again." So it doesn't matter how attractive you find a dude. If he acts like a creeper, you're not going to be attracted to him.
Okay, the fact that like the difference in the analogy and like what happens in the actual show is that in your analogy, it's someone that they casually work with. In the show, like, they spend almost every waking hour together because he is her teacher. Frog, just so you know, he's a child, so it's
he's a child angrily masturbating at 6 years old while his dad cheers him on.
Because it's a grown-ass man in that body. It makes sense.
Okay, no.
Yes. But, like, they spend all their time together. He has already saved her life once. And, like, he has awakened her to, like the wonders of the outside world a little bit. I mean, don't get me wrong. I am not making excuses for him being a lech. Every single time he does something lecherous, I roll my eyes.
Well, the thing is, there's no consequences for being a lecher in this anime. There are zero.
Every single time, with the exception of when he felt the Beast Girl's ass, which was...
That was amazing. Like, the fact that she actually has an accurate booty, impressed me. Me and my wife were both watching. I was like, I can't believe they actually gave her an accurate ass.
That muscular ass was so accurate that there are people on Twitter complaining that it was ugly. And it's like, that's what it looks like, you dumbasses.
You want to know? There's a guy I follow on Twitter. I won't say his name, but he does some of the 3D models for statues for like Fist of the North Star. Whenever statues for anime get popular, he does some of the 3D models sometimes. He was like, I don't even want to watch this anymore because they just made her ass so hideous. I'm like, dude, that's how it's gonna look.
Yeah, the fucking people don't realize that you have muscles in your butt, and when they are fucking stone hard, that's just kind of what they look like, fam.
Yep.
But like, with the exception of that, every single time he does something creepy or lecherous, either an opinion that a character holds of him is like lowered,
But not permanently.
or
It never sticks. They
well,
get
yeah,
over it.
because here's the thing: like the entire show takes place over like years. It literally starts with his birth, and he's currently 12 years old.
Okay,
Okay,
but here's the thing: nobody, and I did kind of peek into the manga a little bit. What gets me, loud spoiler tag here, guys. What gets me is for an anime where a guy should kind of learn to stop being a human trash can, he ends up marrying all three love interests, all three, all at the same time.
Based.
He ends up marrying
Beast!
Sylphie, he ends up marrying his cousin, and he ends up marrying his tutor.
The tutor one's weird, but the rest are like. Listen, I have nothing wrong with open relationships. Whatever, you do you. The tutor one is very fucking weird though, because she's in the like the age
She's
of
like
her
50?
demon. Yeah, and yeah, it's like that's strange, fam. You literally raised this child. I guess you're gonna hold hands now.
I mean, yeah. But
Here's
nobody
the deal. I
nobody
don't
suffers
mind,
repercussions for
like-
being a lecher.
Okay, he does. He's
But
constantly.
his dad doesn't suffer. He doesn't suffer. Like nobody suffers for being.
Are you okay? Literally, the only reason his dad gets out of stooping the maid is because he was like, "Okay, I'll give my dad a bone," and and smoothed it over. Like,
No, it's-
people. Like the maid like spent most of Rudeus's life fucking hating him for being a weird, creepy weirdo. And the only reason she changed his mind is because of that moment where he smoothed it over with the mother.
Okay, but
and
do you know how much of a human garbage can his father actually is? I loved Paul
Yeah.
when I first saw him. I hate.
I know you did. Like you were on the seasonal. You're like best himbo of this season, and like I already knew that he had like a fucking.
I didn't get
hair
it because at the
above-
time all he did was swing a sword around a couple times.
It was when he was giving him advice on how to handle Sylphie that I was really liking him as a father. Because I was like, yeah, this is the advice an actual father would give his son. And then he goes and cheats on his wife.
Paul.
And I mean, here's my issue. He's in this family of lechers. It's established that every male in this family is a trash human being. His grandpa is a trash human being. His father is a trash human being. His uncle is a trash human being. Everybody in his family is cheating on their wives, porking around. His father employs a woman that he mentally broke after raping her in a hero academy together. Like, everyone in this family is absolutely awful. And so you'd think, with a setup like this, Rudeus would eventually go, hey, maybe I shouldn't be like my family. Nope, he marries all three love interests.
I don't think it has to do with anything with what his dad did.
Yeah, like the thing about like his dad and stuff. Like this is actually pretty accurate to like depictions of like social norms in like medieval times. Like people
I'm
just
aware.
fucked and sucked how much they want, and this is like a fantasy show, and it's an isekai. Like there's a lot of like stipulations that I can go on to where I'm like, okay, but then you turn around and it's like this show has phenomenal world building.
It has animation way too good for what it is.
The music is awesome. Like everything about it is great. I can forgive the occasional this is a light novelism.
It's every episode, though. It's every episode.
It is not every episode. Like there was an entire episode that was just character building where nothing pervy happened. And fuck don't okay. It depends on what you mean by pervy, because like him looking like building a figure and then looking at the panties because he
No. Like I'll give him that, but like even the episode where there was no chance whatsoever for him to perv out, he still like says some weird stuff. Like I think he asked one of the tribe chiefs, like the what's his name's father or what's her name's father. He asked like, "Can I call you father-in-law?" It's like where did that come from?
It came from the fact that he wants to fuck the teacher.
Yeah,
that's where it came from.
But I just every episode I'm so tired of Rudius not actually like changing and developing as a character.
Well, he has been developing. Like he's much more knowledgeable about people right now than he was at the beginning of the series, and he's become like there are examples of times when he has shown restraint, like in the whenever his cousin was waiting for him in his room because
he failed that one. He absolutely tried to take advantage of her.
Okay, he did not try and take advantage of her. She like literally he was like, "Is this okay?" And then she changed her mind. And when she changed her mind, he went, "Okay, I'm sorry." There you go. Totally fucking normal human reaction. Like,
I didn't watch this show much. Sounds kind of goofy though.
It's a good show.
Frog, what are you watching?
Mainly, I'm watching Skate. It's the only one I've been keeping up with 100%.
I'm six. I think I'm 6 episodes in because once again, I drop Cells at work simply because I refuse to support Funimation, and that's the only place to legally watch it.
That's a good show. I should watch more of that one. Actually, I was planning on watching more of that one.
But Skate's in the same book, and I actually have to make like a conscious effort to watch Skate every weekend.
I dropped Skate.
That's fair. I think it's not amazing, but it's fun.
What got me is Skate started realistic, and even though they still describe like the physics of skateboarding, it's just gotten so far away from being actual skateboarding that I'm like,
My issue is Frog, have you seen up to episode 5?
I'm caught up.
Okay. My issue is that episode 5, that's the confrontation between Snow and Adam.
Yes.
And that's a really good episode.
Yes.
What you don't want a salsa on a skateboard, Mike?
No, I love that. Like everything about it was great, but at that point in the series,
it should have ended.
Yes, because like the love hug is like the ultimate attack in the show. That's how it was like portrayed. And like the first time Snow goes against love hug, he just solves it. Well, and like it's completely anticlimactic for me.
You know what they're doing? They're doing the Kuroko route. They're going the Kuroko no basket route where he's activating the zone, because it was very heavily implied at the end of that episode that there's like a zone skateboarders can enter and that Adam is always in that zone.
I think that I think the way that they should have done it is like had him do the love hug, and he thinks to himself like, I got a way to solve this. I'll try this. And right before he goes to try it, that's when the police showed up.
Because then you're not wrong.
That would have been perfect. Because I know he can defeat Adam now. Yeah, there's the zone thing, and he goes into it, but also Snow has already been shown going into his own zone as soon as the second or first episode.
There's some more stuff that goes into it a little later on, but I'm not gonna I'm not gonna argue the point. It's fair. It's a valid criticism, I think. The story takes more of a turn towards insecurity. Actually, it's less about the actual competition now, I think.
Well, yeah, because the main character is like, I've never been able to be as good as you are, and I'm like, dude, they're setting you up to be the mechanic character. That's awesome. You're the specialist.
But he doesn't want to be him though. He wants to be the cool skater.
You know what? As somebody who spent a lot of time wanting to be the protagonist in my own life and ending up as a mechanic, I freaking love it. I get his frustrations and his insecurities, but once you jump the shark and you realize holy crap, I make the things that allow the people to function, you just love it, because it's the same thing of being a healer in Final Fantasy XIV, being an astrologian. You're like, the card says no, you don't get a live, bitch. It's an amazing feeling.
And it really sucks to me too, because I dropped fucking Skate, an amazing looking show with interesting characters, but I'm still watching fucking Back Arrow.
You thought you liked that one? I was going to say that first episode took me way off.
I do like Back Arrow, but it's not as good as Skate. It's dumber. It's like in the 10th episode of Back Arrow, the main character turns his mech into a sword and gives it to not like he like turns his mech into a sword and hands it to someone. He's like the way the mechs work is that like he is his mech and he turns himself into a sword and like throws it to the ground so that the weaker character can win a duel against someone who is stronger than her. And it's so stupid, but it's fun. And I like episode 6. I got halfway through of Skate. I got halfway through episode 6. That's like the resort episode, and I was like, man,
that's a good one.
Yeah, the resort episode was kind of fun because you finally got to get the fan service from the guys that you've been waiting to see. And honestly, Shadow has just become such a lovable character for me.
I love Shadow. He's great.
Moth, for someone that like claims to be as straight as you do, you sure do talk about male fan service.
Okay, here I got to go back to the Johnny Bravo analogy. It's I don't like these things because I'm sexually attracted to them. I like these things because I want to be them. It's I love Shadow. Shadow has a physique I absolutely love. It's the same thing with the chef. Like, I would love to be built like those men. And so every day, I go to the gym, and I blow out my elbow doing my bench presses, and I wreck my shoulder blades doing my shrugs, and I do my deadlifts, and I do my squats, and I do everything every single day with one goal in mind, and that's to look like these men.
I'm just imagining you doing like an extreme workout. Be like, I want to have bar titties like Joe.
That's exactly what I do. That is exactly what I do, Mike. And here's the thing: I'm built like a damn goblin. Like I'm 5'10", and I can't put on muscle all that well. I can get these massive ass frog legs that allow me to jump 36 inches like it's no problem. But God forbid that I try like to build upper body strength at all. I'm just a froggy-ass hobgoblin.
Sounds lit, dude.
It is cursed knowledge to know that I'm a full 2 inches taller than you.
Yeah, how does that surprise you at all? And I would be surprised if Frog was taller than me, to be honest.
I'm 5'11".
Fuck.
Stand us in a line and it looks like we have good reception.
Just look like a Weezer album cover. But now that I've roped us into the gym conversation, my wife asked me the other day. This is the story I've wanted to tell. My wife asked me the other day. She's like, "Hey, why don't you go into the locker room? You know, like because my gym has a sauna and a steam, whatever those are called, a steam sauna. Mike, help me.
Sauna.
No, there's a sauna and then there's the one where it's a steam room.
That's a sauna.
Sounds like that's a sauna.
No,
that's literally what a sauna is.
The sauna is wood and the other one is tile.
Oh, I've never heard of that.
A tile sauna.
It's like a steam room where the entire thing is the heat comes from the steam, not just the fact that you're in a human oven. Whatever, fine. My
isn't that
gym.
what saunas are?
No, saunas are like human microwaves. I'm talking about one where the heat actually comes from the wall in like bursts of steam. All right, screw you guys. Anyway, my gym has one for women and men because it's actually a pretty good gym. And my wife was like, "I never see you go to the sauna. You love saunas. Why don't you go?" And I couldn't remember. And I was thinking to myself, I'm like, is it just because like I'm with my wife and she doesn't like to go into the sauna, so we don't end our workouts by going to this? I couldn't remember like why I don't go into the locker room anymore. And I was pretty much immediately reminded. First off, I have not yet walked into that locker room without like a fat mid-50s naked Chinese man just standing dead center of the locker room watching the TV. Just standing there, legs spread out like he's riding a horse, just looking up at the TV. That's a scene I have to look at every time I come into that locker. Like, I'm not even remotely homophobic, and I'm just like, damn, I really don't want to see this every time I walk into the locker. It's like I'm watching an NTR anime, and like the ugly bastard's just waiting for me to come in. Like, just so that's one thing. And so I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna go into the sauna this time. This one time, I'm gonna go into the sauna. And I was reminded every time like I go to take a piss, because you know the locker rooms where the bathrooms are, the sauna is adjacent to it. There is that guy that I just described, and if he's not standing naked in the middle of the room, he's sitting in the sauna, like just sitting there in the sauna, bare ass. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna go to the sauna today. Today I am gonna go to the sauna. And so we get done working out, and I go to the sauna, and it's the first time ever. It's a completely different environment. He's sitting there, but he's not naked for once. He's wearing an astronaut blanket, like a full body astronaut blanket, like with a zipper in the back. And he's sitting in the sauna wearing, like, I don't know what he's trying to accomplish. Like, does he think sweating will make him skinny? I don't know. But he's sitting here with this astronaut's blanket, and then he has his son. And his son is this, like, equally tubby little 12-year-old kid, and you could tell the son looks uncomfortable, like, being in there with his dad. And so I kind of ignore them because I'm thinking to myself, like, I don't want to make this kid any more uncomfortable than he has to be. This is weird for him. And I'm sitting there for 5 minutes, and after 5 minutes, his father, like, the kid wants to get up and leave the sauna, and the father, like, slaps him and starts screaming at him in Mandarin, and the kid, like, shrivels up in the seat, and I'm like, what the hell? You don't force somebody into a sauna when they don't want to be there. That's how you die.
Kind of true, actually.
No, that is true. Like, if you're forced to be in the sauna when you don't want to be in there and you oversit your welcome, you can die.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Yeah, so it's just... I was like, hey, why don't you like the locker room? Like, because when there's not fat, naked dudes staring at me, there's a bunch of Armenian men standing around a cell phone talking about last night's UFC fight. Like, that's all it is. It's a bunch of fat, overweight men talking about athletes 10 times more physically fit than them, saying how they did their fight wrong.
It's fucked up that I enjoy the locker room part of the gym, but I do happen to be an overweight tan person, so who's to say what side of this conversation I sit on?
I was like, why don't you like the gym? Like, I don't like being accosted by old man dick.
Hey,
I mean, that's fair.
Don't knock it till you try it. Beef jerky's good dick. Sometimes.
Not even old man.
Yeah, it's just that's the worst thing. Is it like it's so frustrating because when you're out on the gym floor, there's a bunch of super fit guys who are often pushing themselves to their limit. It's that scene from How Heavy Are the Dumbbells You Lift when she opens the door and everyone's just going ballistic. And then you leave the gym floor to go take a piss, and it's a bunch of old dudes standing around talking about UFC fights.
I just love the idea that Moth enjoys being on the gym floor because that's where the hot guys are at.
Based.
So yeah, I wanted to tell that story because it frustrates me to no end.
God, I thought this was going to be the worst story.
Oh no, I didn't make
fine.
the joke I wanted where I was going to say, I could tell you the Armenian genocide didn't actually happen. They all just moved into the locker room.
What?
There you go. There was the joke.
That fucking joke landed as flat as it possibly could. Like that, you could take off a plane off of that joke.
I don't
All
get
right,
it.
so
It's not good. That's fine. Bad bit. New bit. Next
new bit. Katanagatari.
That's a
All right,
bit.
so let's talk about Katanagatari. But before we talk about Katanagatari episode 3. Obviously, I want to hear what you guys think of Katanagatari episode 2.
Didn't watch it.
Blunt to the fucking goddamn.
I had an hour this morning to watch an episode, and I knew you wanted me to watch episode 3, and you enticed me by saying there's a hot MILF in it. And then you neglected to mention that she dies.
Yeah, she's the holder of the sword. What did you expect?
Spoilers, everybody.
I had hope. I was like, man, maybe because, they're having nice little conversations with each other. There's a bit of understanding. Life's great. Nah, she dies.
I think it was a pretty good episode.
It was.
Frog, did you watch episode 2?
Of course.
Okay. I want to hear what you think about Blunt the Decapitator.
Decapitator? Wait.
Yeah, the name of the episode is Zanto Namakura, and that translates to Blunt the Decapitator.
Okay. Wouldn't have known that.
It's okay. You would. It's in the sub.
I didn't look at the fucking name of the sub. Anyway, whatever. It's fine. Episode 3, you mean, or episode 2 is Decapitator?
That's episode 2.
Episode 2.
The
Episode 2
desert
was
episode.
okay. It got better than episode 1, that's for sure. Which I'm not a fan of personally.
Yeah, no. The first episode.
First episode sucks dick. I'm gonna say that right now, Mike. I could not believe we were gonna do a year of this after watching the first episode.
It got
the
better.
first episode does not suck dick. It is just fine.
I think it kind of
just
sucks dick.
fine.
Yeah, the first episode definitely sucks dick.
I don't think it definitely. I think it just kind of sucks dick. I think it's just absurdly poor storytelling is all it is. It's not offensive or anything.
No, I'm gonna be honest with you. It sucks dick.
It's fine.
It has the funny bit where he respects women real hard.
He does
Yeah, that's
respect women
true.
real hard.
Actually, can I just remind people that the only actual anime or manga I like by this author is the Zodiac War.
Funny, that is so fucking cursed. That is, I fucking hate that fucking piece of shit.
What?
Are you kidding me?
Fuck.
That anime has the only man whose physique I could probably imitate, and that's Rabbit. Because I can be built with legs like Rabbit, no problem. If I focused legs for 3 months straight, I would look like Rabbit, no problem. And I could pull off the slutty-ass heels and the banana hammock.
I literally don't even want to look up the proper name of the show, because I don't want to imply that anyone should look it up and watch it.
It's Jujutsu Kaisen Zodiac War.
Ah, fuck you.
It's Genie Tyson.
It's okay. I just want to say it's funny you bring up that the only thing you've liked about it is that one, because in the next season of anime, he has another works of his adaptation.
Is it another
of his
Gatari?
works is being no. It's a anime about pretty boy detectives. Yeah, we're gonna watch that shit. Look forward to it, baby.
So I will say, these episodes could actually have been 24 minutes if they just cut out all the unnecessary talking.
Excuse you. You've only seen 2 of the 3 episodes so far. I don't think I should value your opinion.
I think
No,
there
I'm
is
just
a lot
saying,
of
like-
unnecessary talking in the first episode. I think it's a very show don't tell. I think 2 has a bit too much as well. 3 is not so bad. 3 is actually fine.
I will say that I genuinely enjoyed this episode. Because once again, I don't hate the character designs. I think these are some of the best character designs I've ever seen in anime.
Yeah, I think this episode is separated into 4 arcs, and there are 3 episode arcs. It is very easy to say. The first arc, I'll give it to you that Zeto Kana is like. It's fine. There's nothing like it's not doing. It is not a good representation of what Katanagatari is. When I first watched this, I watched the first episode and dropped it because it was like I'm not getting anything out of this. And literally the only reason I went back is because Mara recommended it super hard. Well,
okay, I don't trust Mara's. Just so you know, there's a Phantom Fourth member of this podcast that we don't talk about that we roped in, and I think he's just been too polite to actually leave. His name is Mara, and he loves the Goddery series, and he is your traditional French up his own ass, like, oh, ho, ho, I love the Gatari series. I like it when girl blows cigarette smoke on my pee-pee. Ho, ho.
Your
Like,
French accent is like, it's not even offensive. It's just like, what are you doing?
le pee-pee.
Wow, that's not even how you say Pepe.
I said pee-pee. As in penis. As in
Yo, he's
meat
Eminem.
and potatoes.
Anyway,
Cock and balls, Mike.
Eminem lyrics, let's go.
Zeto Kana is just fine. Zanto Namakura is where, like,
What did you
starts.
just say?
That's the second episode, Zanto Namakura. That stands for Blunt, the Decapitator, which I've already said. That episode, like, it has a lot more interesting things going on. Even like the big monologue in the desert is like more interesting because it's just funny character dialogue.
Well,
Yeah.
episode 4 is going to be the Shark Man.
Yeah, we can't wait to talk about that episode.
Am I going to hate this episode, Mike? Am I going to hate episode 4, Mike?
There's a chance.
Is there a very good chance I'm going to hate episode 4, Mike?
I don't know. Because, like, I don't know. We're not going to talk about it yet. Because, like, I can't say anything about the next episode. The next episode is named Needle of the Fine. But today we're talking about Blade the Thousand. Sinto Tsurugi, the last episode of the first arc of Katanagatari.
Can we just
It
call it
got
the
a bit-
sweatshop sword?
What?
I'm sorry, what?
The sweatshop sword.
Why?
Because there's 1,000 of them, they have no special characteristics, they're just made to the same manufacturer spec.
They still got the poison attribute thing to them.
Well, it's not.
Yeah,
it's the poison of the soul. It's not actually poison.
No, it is. It's like literally a poison that affects people that have the ability to feel any kind of greed.
No, but that's all the swords have that.
Yeah.
No,
Well, no,
all the
all the
Kiki
special
swords
swords
do. Yes,
Yeah.
all the possessed blades.
They're called deviant blades in the translation you sent me.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, I prefer... Okay, Deviant Blade's
Hentai
fine.
katana, Mike. Hentai katana.
There is a specific reason why I prefer the possessed blade translation, and you'll see why later. But Deviant Blade is typically what they're called. That's fine. It's a fine translation. I don't complain about it. But yeah, this episode is really good. I really love Sento Tsurugi. I love the sword. I love the character who has the sword. I like the fact that the character in the show, like, they're not evil. They don't even carry the sword around with them because of the poison attributes of the blade. It's cool. It's a really interesting episode.
Yeah, I think it's the best episode so far
think.
for sure.
What is...
I guess, like,
You know...
I
I
should
know
just,
this is going to seem...
I'm going to roll back to the first episode for a little bit, because, like, our coverage on that was a bit short. Because I want to compare it to this one, basically. And the second one, for that matter, which I didn't get to talk about last
The
time.
third episode is head over shoulders better than the first episode.
Oh, yeah,
Like,
no question, but...
Yeah,
I guess,
I
like-
will say, though, this episode did set the main character apart as somebody I don't like.
Why is that?
Really?
Yeah, I don't think he's... Let me clarify. You can dislike a character and still think it's a good character. I think the main character is a very interesting character you don't see a lot of, but I don't like him.
Why?
And he's kind of like a shittier Goku at the end of the day.
Okay.
I think he's not really like Goku. I mean, like,
Well,
and maybe
he's
at
very
first...
he's very lackadaisical, and he's very much like, you know, hey, whatever happens, happens. And I get the mindset of just trusting somebody else to make the decisions and you act on it. Like, trust me, I know that mindset. And so I don't necessarily hold any of his personality against him. I just don't care for him.
So there's something you really need to, like, understand about Shichika. It's that he was raised to think of himself as a tool.
Yeah, no, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with him, Mike. I just don't like him.
Okay. The show is about him growing. In fact, this episode, it says in this episode that he actually lays down his body count. He's killed
3 people.
3 people, and
Now
this
4.
is the episode. Yeah, this is the episode where he kills his 4th, and it's the first time, like, he's ever been confronted by like what that means. And I love the line in this episode where when he's talking about his body count, and he's like, oh, because he says 2, because we've only seen him kill 2 people.
Yeah.
But he's like, oh wait, no, I've killed 1 other person. And then he just fucking names his dad with, like, stone cold, like,
Well, because his
nothing
dad
in his
told him to
eyes.
kill him. I can already tell his dad told him to kill him.
That's an
No.
assumption.
Really?
Yeah, that's not
That's
it.
definitely an
Okay.
assumption.
All right, never mind.
I mean, that's the
It's-
definition of an assumption, really.
No, never mind. That didn't happen.
And like our main character in this episode, the holder of the sword, God, what was her name?
Something.
Mesa.
Sentomaru.
Mesa, yeah.
I love her. She's so fucking cool, and she's hot as shit, and like it's her blade style is super interesting. Like, just the idea of, like, having this sword style that's, like, based off not owning a sword, but in using the ones that are around you is super cool. Of course, that's something that could exist.
Yeah, it's alright.
But anyway, Frog, you said you were going to bring up something about the first episode and compare it to this one.
More so
Yeah,
just
go
like
ahead.
in general comparison, not like super duper specific. I just feel like there's been a small shift in. I guess, well, obviously tone. Tone is a big factor in this one, because this is like a big tone shift for the series in this one, where he kills someone and it's actually kind of, you feel a little bit more. It's actually like it's not. The last 2 were just kind of like, oh yeah, you killed someone, and it's like they just kind of play it off like whatever happened. But the third one, they actually put weight on it. I'm not sure why they waited this long to do it, but
Because she was the only, like, character I think he's fought so far that wasn't, like, completely intolerable.
I guess
Yeah,
so.
this is the episode where, because the entire series is about, like, Shichika, like, growing as a person and realizing, like, it's about a lot of things, but that's one of them. Like, in realizing, like, there are wants, like, that a person can have, and the fact that, like, you have to first, like, establish that he's, like, stone cold, and then, like, put in front of him an obstacle that he has to overcome, but that is totally sympathetic. And if this, and granted, you were gonna see more of this, because like there's a character later on that he just doesn't kill because he can't, and it's really it is cool that he doesn't kill them, but at the same time it's also another low point of the, because that episode's not very interesting other than that one fact. But we'll get there. We'll cross that bridge when we get to there. But like having him kill this like completely like sympathetic person with like genuine goals, it makes this a more grounded world. Because like imagine how boring the show would be if every single person he has to fight is like black and white evil. Like it would be really bad. It would be dumb. I'd hate it.
Yeah.
No, I don't disagree with you at all, Mike. I do, like I said, I'm not in love. It's obviously a good anime, and as far as this mangaka goes, it's probably one of his better animes for sure.
Nisio Isin is
Up his own ass.
I would not call him a mangaka. Like everything, like he has the only manga he's ever made is Madoka Box. And well, he's made a few adaptations of his own light novels, but mostly he's a light novel writer. And once Shaft picked up Monogatari, he became like big. But I feel like this series came out in like 2010. It was written over the course of an entire year. This is still when like he wasn't like small, but he was still not like an anime household name where like people in the West would even know who he is. And that's part of the reason why I think the Zodiac bullshit is bad, because I feel like he wrote that in like an evening for like an award thing, and I don't think he even fucking won, because of course he didn't. It's bad.
I don't think it's bad. I liked it a lot.
It's because you're bad. You're stupid. I hate you. But this is good. It's good. It's hard to talk about this show without like because I don't know if either of you listened back to the episode that I did with Tito Ito.
I was planning on it, but I've been so busy lately.
In that episode, like, because Tito Ito's already seen the whole series,
Right.
Talking with someone who has seen this whole show, it is really hard not to talk about the rest of the show.
That's fair.
Right. Yeah, makes sense.
And like this episode, like it starts to give you peeks of what makes this more special. Like you get to peek underneath the hood. Like Shichika, like up to this point, like he's just been kind of a no nonsense himbo, but now you're starting to see like, oh, there's something that's kind of unhinged about him.
A little bit.
Yeah, just a bit.
And it really starts to like explore that in an incredibly interesting way. Like the sword style that he uses.
The non-sword style he uses.
Yes.
The fact that he can't hold he can't hold swords.
It is so like interesting how it is like it does something to the people that learn how to use it that just makes them like literally human weapons, and they don't like learn how to be people, and it's so fucking, the exploration of that's really fucking
I figured that was more so a result of the isolation you just had.
Yeah, I mean the only examples of people who use this sword style are him and his sister that we see, so I think that's a fair assumption to make.
Yeah,
because obviously they're a bit isolated.
You know, I will say, you know what I was thinking the whole time I watched this episode, and it was kind of weird to me that this movie came to mind? Jet Li's Fearless.
Never seen it.
me neither.
Okay, there's a scene in Jet Li's Fearless, well, there's multiple scenes, where the whole thing is like, my kung fu is better than your kung fu. Like, there's a lot of that in that movie. And the concept is basically that there is no truly better kung fu, like no kung fu is superior to another. It's just the people master it better than their opponents have mastered their kung fu.
Okay.
And so the entire scene where he's talking to the woman, and he's like, oh yeah, you know, this is my sword style. She's like, well, my sword style is using any weapon on the battlefield. That's all that was going through my mind. I'm like, am I watching just Jet Li's Fearless again? So
like that's something that's just gonna appear in any story about like either sword styles or about like kung fu. Like you'll see that in a lot of different media about this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And on top of that, this story is like inherently about that because it is revealed later that there can only be one master of his sword style at any given time. There's a reason for that, and we'll explore it when it happens when they talk about it. Because of that, not many people, especially now, because it's been isolated for like 20 years, not that many people have even seen it before.
Yeah, it's there. There is a certain level of if you don't know what my technique does, I win the fight.
Mm-hmm.
So I do appreciate that. Also, I like the fact that she guessed the sword wrong. That was great.
It's not so much that, like, she guessed the sword. Like, there wasn't really a sword, because the whole reason that they went on that, like, a skirt, where Togame went to go and find the original,
was so that they could, yeah.
Yeah. There was no, like, guessing it right or wrong. It was literally just a diversion.
Yeah, it was, hey, let me buy time for my ambush.
Which I thought, that is, like, actually really
I thought
cool.
it was kind of dumb the way the fight resolved, though, because, like, she lured him
No,
into
actually,
a
that is
forest.
exactly what I thought when he walked into the woods and the swords were everywhere. I was like, dude, just leave. Just
Yeah, but
leave.
that's dumb, because she lured him in there in the first place. Why did she leave?
I mean, because
I just thought it was kind of stupid. Because, like, she had this whole scenario, well, I'm going to trick him into here, and then he leaves, and then she just follows him, and they're like, why don't you just lay him out?
Well, the reason being is that because she has swords hidden everywhere, including the place where he didn't think she would have swords hidden.
I get, yeah, but she knew there was only one, so it'd be like, oh, okay.
Well, I just... Yeah, so I didn't necessarily... Once again, I think I'm going to have an issue with this anime when it comes to the swords, where it's like... You know what? I got an idea for two swords, all right? You ready, Mike? I got a sword that can be broken as many times as possible, as long as it can drink blood and reform itself using the iron and blood. Okay? That's one sword, all right? Then the other sword is a shark that steals its user's life force if it's not constantly killing people.
Okay, no.
All right, now I got a third sword
not the
that
swords
is a
from
giant
Naruto.
pair of scissors, Mike.
No. Like
Different show.
It is totally true that some of the swords are bullshit in Katanagatari, but they're bullshit on purpose. Like,
Yeah, no, it's one of them's a gun.
That's the thing. This is Katanagatari, but it's not a story of these swords. It's a story about Shichika. Like, the swords are completely ancillary. In the third arc, the episodes stop being about a hunt for the swords.
Okay, that's fine. At the same time, though, I can see there being room for having both of those excel in very cool ways.
No. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying the swords like stop being cool.
I'm saying they haven't been that cool.
Yeah, but like we're currently in the jobber swords.
Okay, I mean, like
the
the second
jobber
episode was the
swords?
best fight of all the swords, but even that one was like, oh, I'm just gonna.
What does the jobber swords mean, Mike?
Jobber is a term for.
Yeah.
They suck shit.
A jobber is a wrestling term that refers to someone who just shows up for a paycheck. They're a 9-to-5 jobber.
Oh, okay.
Like it's someone that's like they're it's not they're hard. It's not someone you show up to see. It's someone that is just there to exist.
Okay, I got you. All right. There we go.
Like like literally later, one of the swords is just a gun. Like
Yep, and I dig that. That is the best sword.
it's one of the coolest ones. There's a sword later that's a robot.
Honestly, you know what? Let's get there. I don't like this. I'm gonna make you watch Azazel-san to make up for the fact that I have to watch this damn anime, but we're gonna do this.
It's not that.
I
I think it's actually decent now. The first one I didn't like, but this is actually fine. And if it
You
gets,
know,
if it
I
gets better
will-
over time, then I'm gonna probably enjoy it a lot.
I will say for sure that if not for the fact that Mike is holding me at gunpoint on this, I would not watch this anime, but I do not despise it.
I mean, we had a whole discussion about like if we really didn't want to watch it, we could do a separate thing. But like you insisted, so
No, it's
Yeah.
it's nice that we have some what's the term for it? Consistency.
yeah.
I do want to say the next episode, Hakuto Hari, it's one of my favorite episodes. There are 3 episodes that I love. It's this episode and the last 2. And that not to say that there are other episodes I don't like, but those are the ones I think are special. And the fact that the next episode is special is part of the reason why I am worried. I think Frog's gonna vibe with it. I don't know, I don't think you'll necessarily hate it. But I'm just interested to see what the eventual reaction is going to be to it for you.
Okay.
Moth.
That's fair.
Because a big thing about Nisio Isin in general, but especially this series,
is he sucks and he's overblown and people like his work too much because they want to be pseudo-intellectuals?
it's that it plays with your expectations.
No. Honestly, Zodiac War went perfectly. I loved it.
Everything I saw so far has been within my expectations. I expect them to be dashed at some point, but I'm not.
Moth, you're literally talking about Zodiac War, a series that is the most playing with your expectations Nisio Isin thing ever is. Because literally, the character that you don't think is gonna win at all.
No,
is
the
person
moment
who
I
wins.
saw the mouse, I knew he was gonna win.
The what?
Literally, the second I saw
Okay.
the mouse, I was like, "Yeah, this guy's gonna win."
I don't know what sign
because
that
the
is.
mouse historically on the Zodiac is always the trickster.
I don't know what we're talking about right now.
Don't worry about
That's
it.
the entire plot of Fruits
it is-
Baskets.
It is a
Is that the
bad
mouse is
anime.
overpowered and garbage?
Anyway, I think that has been Sento Surugi on this day in March. Join us next month where we get to talk about Hakutohari.
Sounds
Yay!
good.
Are we gonna?
But before next month, I'm going to start announcing the next episode.
Good, because I have no idea what we're doing next.
Yeah,
week.
actually, I don't remember. I haven't looked at the schedule in a hot minute.
Mike,
so,
please
enlighten
announce
us.
what we're doing, please.
Yeah, that's no big deal. The next episode is let's see.
Azazel-san.
We're going to be watching the first 6 episodes of Trigun.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Cowboy Bebop.
No, Trigun.
Okay.
Try
When we
okay.
eventually do
First
when
3
we
you said?
eventually first 6 first 6.
Okay, first 6. I can do that. And there's 22 episodes. 22 seconds. 20, they're like regular length episodes, right?
Regular length episodes.
Mike, I got a serious question for you, okay?
Yeah.
Between the original that aired, I think it was like 26 episodes or something, and between the short version where it's like 4 movies, I believe, which version of Hellsing is your favorite?
I've not watched either.
Okay, never mind then.
That'll be something we eventually watch. If we may even do like a full watch through of the Hellsing Ultimate.
Yeah, because
okay,
Hellsing Ultimate, from my understanding, Hellsing Ultimate is the better watch. And it's funny, I like that mangaka a lot, because he also did Drifters, where, gosh, I just love Drifters. Man, I could go into a nostalgic romp about how great Drifters is.
Question,
it
Mike.
weird how-
Actually, can you just link the schedule again so I can see it? But also, I was going to ask, and this is a question I'm asking on my own show. When are we doing the Kaiji watch thing?
It's the Kaiji. Okay, so I can go through the next the next couple episodes.
Yeah,
all
yeah.
right?
Give everyone a little preview.
Yeah,
next
I don't need
episode
the preview.
is-
Everyone else needs a preview, Mike. Go.
So we're doing Trigun.
Yep.
Then it's going to be episode 4 of Katana. Then it's going to be seasonal time, baby, which you
Okay.
guys already have the seasonal list.
Yep.
Yep, we do.
Then it's Katana, FLCL, the whole kit
Yeah, we got a ways to
caboodle,
go.
and then after that Kaiji.
let's switch Kaiji and FLCL.
Okay.
I mean, if you want to, sure. I mean, I like FLCL a lot, but
I mean, well, it's like, here's the thing. A lot of people don't realize this, but Frog is the most easygoing guy on the podcast, and I often feel like we don't let Frog shine when he needs to
I don't
shine,
think
and
that's
it's entirely my
necessarily
fault.
true. It's fine. I mean, I'm just happy we were watching Kaiji in the first place, and also I like FLCL a lot, so I don't really care. But yeah, it'll be
Originally, the last episode was going to be Kaiji.
yeah, I think we wanted to do earlier. It's just like we just happened to have to reschedule because my schedule was fucked up. So
No. Well,
I
we
think all of our
rescheduled
schedules are in the
because
hell.
yeah,
well, we were gonna try and ride that SEO to stardom, and then it didn't work out. It's
all good, though.
because of you fucks.
yeah, it's a little unfortunate, but we're hopefully gonna kick it back into a little higher gear. I'll do my best anyway. I'll try my best to attend as much as I can because it's been rough. But
Dude, it is like a lot of people. It's the one thing I remember. One podcast was like, You know what allowed us to survive when nothing else could survive? He's like, I remember being homeless, and I would go over to one of our members' houses because they actually were able to. They were able to get all three guys in the room together. He's like, I remember being homeless and going to your house, and that'd be like the only time that week I would be able to take a real shower.
Goofy.
It's just like, holy crap. He's like, and we recorded every week for 3 years straight, and then we built a network.
Huh.
Yeah, and we're the only thing we're ever able to build are promises that we break.
You know, I'm actually
fucking cowards.
I don't know if I told you this, and maybe telling you guys this will like force me to do it. But I'm working on Blender right now because after watching Worthy Kid do all of his stuff,
oh yeah,
I've been really motivated to learn to 3D model, and I fully intend to do like short bits using 3D modeling.
That
cool
sounds really cool.
That's a cool hobby to get into. I hope you do good things. I want to see it. Post on Twitter and stuff.
I hope you stick with it so you can teach me how to do Blender, because once I get into a more permanent living situation and I can get a second monitor and upgrade my computer, lots of dreams, though this isn't in the future, but I plan on like learning how to get into Blender and start working on my own stuff.
Mike, I'm gonna toot my own dick here. I probably have a computer better than 99.9% of computer users, and I still only use one monitor.
Yeah, but like having two monitors, I have ADHD. Having two monitors helps me focus.
Doesn't
I
help
have
me
three
shit.
monitors. I only use two of them though. 3 is too many.
Yeah. Three
I only use
so
it
that
for very specific circumstances.
Yeah. So the big thing is it was the funniest thing. I learned how to edit videos and I got what I wanted out of it, and then I got totally bored after I figured out what I was doing. I was like, oh, this is easy now, and then I just stopped.
Oh, that's no fun.
This is easy, and you didn't even learn how to do anything cool.
I learned to do exactly what
shit.
I wanted to do, and that was make crappy anime memes.
Didn't even learn how to do poops.
I didn't
Why
want
didn't
to
you
learn
learn
how
how
to
to poop?
I wanted to learn how to sync stupid music and sound effects to anime cuts. That was it. And I made one with Alex Jones and Sarah Zonmai, and that was it. I was
Speaking
done.
of which, if you want a video editor, I'll probably forget to do your video, or my software will fuck up. But if that doesn't happen, then I'll edit your video.
Yeah.
If you need a video essayist or a let's player or montager of any kind, I'm pretty good at that.
And so if you need someone to edit the things you make, I can do that. But don't ask me to write, because I'm bad at doing that. Yeah.
So there you go, guys. That's the We Hate Anime Katanagatari Episode 3 special. Remember to follow my co-hosts on MySpace.
Why'd you do a voice?
Just leave me alone.
Why are you like this?
Leave me alone, Mike.
All right. Every single I know the recording's off. I swear to God, every single day it's like a redheaded stepchild with you. Just step on the line. Right, you just need to buckle down and sit tight. Jesus fucking Christ.
Yo, on the book, I didn't have anything to say. I just wanted to say on the book because it sounded cool. I'm gonna stop recording too.